everyone, welcome to the Needle Magic. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful bracelet. I've just used shell stitch and made this bracelet, and it's super easy. I hope you like it. So let's get started. For this, we'll need yarn, a crochet hook, scissors, a tapestry needle and a button. So let's get started. I'm using a 3mm crochet hook. So we'll start by making a slip knot and chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and do 7 double crochets in the first chain that we made. That is your 4th chain from the needle. We have to go in and make 7 double crochets in this chain, which is 4th chain from the needle. So we'll yarn over, go into the 4th chain from the needle and do double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch in the same stitch in which we made these 7 double crochets. So we'll go into the same stitch and do a slip stitch. Now chain 3, turn your work and go into the chain 3 space and do a slip stitch. Now chain 3 again and make 7 double crochets in the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now again chain 3 and slip stitch in the same space in which you made the 7 double crochets. So go into the same space and do a slip stitch. Now again chain 3, turn your work and slip stitch in the chain 3 space. Now again chain 3 and do 7 double crochets in the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now again chain 3 and do a slip stitch in the same space where you made the 7 double crochets. So we'll go in and do a slip stitch. Now chain 3 again, turn your work and slip stitch in the chain 3 space. So go into the chain 3 space and do a slip stitch. Now again chain 3 and do 7 double crochets in the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now chain 3 and slip stitch in the same space in which we did these double crochets. So go into the same space and do a slip stitch. Now again chain 3, turn your work and do a slip stitch in the chain 3 space. Chain 3 again, and now do double crochets, 7 double crochets in the chain 3 space. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now chain 3 and slip stitch in the same space where you did your 7 double crochets. Go in and do a slip stitch. Again chain 3, turn your work and slip stitch in the chain 3 space. Again chain 3 and 7 double crochets in this chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, now you can see that the shells are forming. This is going to be a bracelet. You can increase the number of shells or decrease the number of shells as per the length of your bracelet you want it to be. Like you want it to be long, then you can make more shells. If you want it to be small, then less shells you'll have to make. So now I have finished making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shells. So I'll continue making some more shells. So I have to chain 3 now after the 7 double crochets and slip stitch in the same space in which I have made these 7 double crochets. Slip stitch. Now chain 3, turn your work and slip stitch in the chain 3 space. Again chain 3 and 7 double crochets in this chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Again chain 3 and slip stitch in the same space where we did our 7 double crochets. So go in the same space and do a slip stitch. Now chain 3 again, turn your work and slip stitch in the chain 3 space. again chain 3 and do 7 double crochets in this chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So I'll complete some more shells and meet you back here. So here I have completed 11 shells and reached the required length that I need for the bracelet. You can increase or decrease the number of shells as per the length you require. You can increase the number of shells if you want a larger bracelet, the longer one, and if you need a shorter bracelet, then you can decrease the number of the shells. So here I have completed 11 shells and I have done 7 double crochets of the last, that is 11th shell, and now I'm going to make a loop for the button. So this is the button. If you're using a bigger button, then you might need more chains. I'm using a smaller one, so I don't need much. I'm just going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn my work and go into the same stitch, and I'll make a slip stitch here. So here I have made the loop for the button. Now I'm going to chain 1 and fasten off. Here. So I've made the loop. I'll weave in this yarn inside the work, and now I'll put a button over here. First I'm going to weave my end in. So I'll just weave these ends inside, and then I'll put a button and the bracelet will be ready. So I'm just going in this direction first. And then from a little down I'll just go in first because the length of the yarn is less. So I'm going in first and then putting in my yarn in the needle. I'll just pull this here so that it's secure enough, and I'll cut off the extra yarn here. So this end is weaved in. Similarly, we'll weave this end also. So as you can see, the yarn is smaller. So first I'll put in the needle in the place where I want my yarn to be weaved, like this. Now I'm going to put in my yarn in the needle, and I'm just going to pull it through and cut off the excess yarn. Okay, so here we have weaved in the ends. We just need to put a button over here and the bracelet will be ready. Now the button which I have taken has a smaller hole, and my tapestry needle isn't going through the button, so I'm just using a normal needle which goes through and easily, and I'm going to sew the button here. So I've taken another thread which is of a similar color of the yarn that I was using. So I'll just tie a knot over here. Okay, now I need my button to be on this shell. So I'll go in this shell first. Two to three times so that the needle and the thread is secured, and the thread doesn't come out of the needle. So here I've secured it. Now I'll take the button and sew it here. You can put any button as you like. You can even put some fancy button over here. I'm just using a normal golden color button. Okay, so now I've sewed my button in and it is secured. Now I'll just make 2 knots over here. That's it. I'm not going to cut my thread here. I'll just go in a few times so that it's secured. And now I'll cut the thread here. So here your bracelet is ready. You can just close it with the loop that we made. This is the size I wanted. You can make larger ones, and if you're using a thicker yarn, then you will have a thicker bracelet. If you're using a thinner yarn, then you'll have a thinner bracelet. So this is the bracelet. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon to be updated whenever I upload my new video. Thanks for watching. Keep crocheting. Stay happy. Bye bye.